When the program was started, it was started by Bill Brown and Clora Cargill, who were partners in the tennis facility. Originally, the program was called Bill's Junior Development Program. And they took the money from some of the profits that they made from renting courts and created the junior tennis program.
In the beginning, it was really a program that was for competitive players that were trying to go from amateur to professional.
Bill Brown talked about tennis and helped you with your tennis game, but related those things to life. Clora Cargill was a great teacher. He was what I would consider a life skills coach.
One Saturday we came to work and we opened up the tennis courts, and the city of New York moved in and told us we were out of business, and they put the homeless shelter in there. Then I noticed the courts are empty during the daytime, so we have 4 courts. I'll keep my program going.
When they had the homeless crisis, half of the facility had permanent beds down. So the homeless would come in the evening. In the morning, Harlem Junior Tennis and the staff was cleaning up the cots and whatever else was on the courts, and then they had to put the nets back up.
The Armory back in the 70s, there wasn't much lighting. There was parquet floors. They had to roll the nets up. They were held not by wire, they were held by rope, and it was pulled by pulleys.
One of the original founders of the program, he asked me one day, what do you do after school? I said, I do my homework, hang out with my friends. He said, well, you don't do that anymore. He said, now what you do is you come here, you do your homework, and I'm gonna pay you to do some odd jobs so that I wouldn't be on the street hanging out with my friends anymore. I think that discipline definitely served me well, and it certainly got me on the track to college, where eventually I played tennis in college.
Everybody here, they loved what they were doing and they wanted to make an impact on each child that they touched. You took so many different things from all of the individuals, but the one consistent message was your life has to mean something bigger than yourself.
So in 1981, the program was incorporated as a 501c3, where the focus became on grassroots and really focusing on kids using tennis as a vehicle to get a college scholarship, whether as in sport or in academics. They put over 7,000 kids through the program to date. We have a lot of instructors who are products of the program. We have board members who are products of the program, which is the beauty of Harlem Junior Tennis. It's kind of a way of life, and it's a family. It's not just about tennis, it's about tennis and education. And that's what we give in the Harlem Junior Tennis and Education Program, is that pathway to a successful life.
The Harlem Junior Tennis and Education Program made it absolutely feasible for me to be able to get into an Ivy League school.
When you talk about the schools that our kids are going to, they've gone to all the Ivies, they've gone to Harvard, Yale, Princeton.
And then after graduating from Claremont, I came back to New York and enrolled at the Graduate Center of the City University of New York, and graduated with a doctorate in history.
Got an MBA at Columbia in 2005, so did a bunch of things between Morehouse and Columbia, but currently I'm a member of PepsiCo.
On behalf of our Board of Admission, I am pleased to invite you to join the 131st entering class of Spelman College Scholars. Yes. Never been called a scholar before.
Tennis is great, but for me, you know, kind of college and school and the opportunity to expand my mind with some smart kids around is really all I'm asking for.
The program was actually wonderful for me. A single parent, I was looking for a program for my son that he could grow up with, have friendships, and the mentoring aspect of it, especially that male figure.
It doesn't just enrich you physically, it doesn't just enrich you as a competitive athlete. It enriches you socially in an immediate sense. It's something that you never forget because it has manifestations in your career, in your self-discipline.
These people modeled, you know, kind of personal and professional excellence, and they're people I wanted to be like when I grew up.
Well, right now, I mean, we're flourishing. We're serving about 1,100 youth a year. The end of last year was the first year we actually had to turn some kids away that we did not accept into the program, or we have a waiting list. And this year, our waiting list was longer than it was a year before.
What makes the Harlem Junior Tennis Association so terrific is that they're great right now, but they're not sitting on their laurels. congratulating themselves, patting themselves on the back. They are actually out there creating even stronger and better programs for our children.
If you're considering investing in this program, whether it's time or your financial resources, know that you're doing more than helping kids learn the game of tennis. You're impacting their lives and you're making them kind of whole citizens.
The issue is, what are they doing with the resources that they're given? And I was just absolutely blown away by the number of children and lives that are touched on a daily and a weekly basis by Harlem's Junior Tennis.
Because the way I look at this sport, it's really teaching these kids so much with life. It's teaching them self-discipline, it's teaching them sportsmanship, as well as the athletic abilities and agility that comes with it. So to be able to offer this to those parents that really can't afford it means so much to me and to my staff and to my board. And that's why we're here, and hopefully we'll be here another 40 years to really keep that going.